Welcome back to the deep dive. Last time we were totally geeking out over all those shiny new AI innovations.
Yeah, it felt like we had those front row seats,
Yeah,
at the AI Expo, and it
totally.
was just mind-blowing to see what's
It
possible.
was really incredible. But this time we're going behind the scenes
Yeah.
to kind of get that backstage pass and see um, what's really going on with the nuts and bolts, the engineering hurdles that need
Yeah.
to be cleared
Yeah.
for AI to really revolutionize our world.
It's kind of like we got to see all the possibilities.
Yeah.
And now we're really getting down into like the nuts and bolts and figuring out like what needs to happen
Right.
for these things to actually really change things.
I love that. And speaking of getting down to the nuts and bolts, sources that you sent me really do get into the nitty-gritty of AI's limitations.
Yeah.
We've got reports from Qualia Insight on AI adoption and cybersecurity,
Right.
some fascinating insights from experts like Dario Amodei, and even a deep dive into complex AI concepts like mixture of experts models.
Yeah, those are super interesting. And while those cutting edge concepts are super exciting, we also need to understand where AI might be falling short.
Okay.
Like, one of the things that kept coming up was this idea of AI as an overachieving intern,
Okay.
which I thought was a really interesting way to think about it.
Yeah, let's unpack that.
Yeah.
What exactly does it mean to say that AI is like an intern?
Well, imagine you have this fresh out of college intern, right?
Yeah.
They're so enthusiastic and so ready to tackle any task that you throw at them.
Right.
And they're capable of producing these amazing results, but they also need some guidance,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to those really critical decisions that require experience and judgment.
Right.
And AI is in a very similar stage right now.
So AI can handle the busy work, but not the big picture strategy.
Yeah, precisely. Our sources highlighted how the real estate industry, for example,
Right.
is embracing AI for a wide range of tasks.
Okay.
It can enhance MLS photos to make properties look their best. It can analyze market trends to help set prices and even flag potential issues in appraisals.
Wow.
But as Alex Lange, who is one of the experts that we're looking at today, puts it, AI is still in its junior varsity stage.
Junior varsity.
Yeah.
What does that really mean, though, for me?
So it means that while AI can be a game changer for streamlining tasks and providing valuable insights,
Yeah.
it's not quite ready to be the captain of the ship.
Okay.
It still needs that seasoned coach,
Right.
that human oversight to make sure that everything is running smoothly
Right.
and to ensure compliance with regulations,
Okay.
particularly in fields like real estate where consumer protection is paramount.
Right. So it's like having a superpowered assistant who can handle a lot of the heavy lifting,
Yeah,
but you still need to be the one calling the shots,
exactly.
keeping sure everything is on the up and up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
AI can be an incredibly valuable tool, but it's important to understand its limitations
Yeah.
and use it responsibly.
Now let's shift gears a little bit to a topic that always seems to make headlines: AI and cybersecurity.
Right.
The sources paint a pretty chilling picture of what happens when AI falls into the wrong hands.
It's not a pretty picture.
Yeah.
Essentially, AI gives cybercriminals superpowers.
Okay.
They can automate attacks, personalize phishing scams, and even create deepfakes that are virtually indistinguishable from the real thing.
The Qualia report had a particularly disturbing example of deepfake technology. Cybercriminals are now using AI to fabricate not just emails and images,
Right.
but also audio that mimics someone's voice.
It's incredible
I
and
don't know.
incredibly unsettling. Imagine receiving a voicemail that sounds exactly like your boss,
Oh, gosh.
instructing you to transfer funds to a suspicious account.
No.
Or think about the implications for spreading disinformation
Right.
with fabricated videos of politicians or celebrities saying things they never actually said.
So we're basically in a world where seeing is no longer believing.
Yeah, that's it.
That's pretty scary, especially for smaller businesses that might not have the resources to combat these sophisticated attacks.
Absolutely. The barrier to entry for launching sophisticated cyber attacks is getting lower and lower,
Right.
thanks to AI.
Okay.
And that means that everyone needs to be more vigilant than ever.
So what can we do to protect ourselves in this new AI-powered threat landscape? Are we talking complex, expensive security solutions?
Well, the good news is that combating these evolving AI-driven threats doesn't always require overly complex solutions. A lot of it comes down to reinforcing those fundamental cybersecurity practices,
Okay.
but with even greater consistency and diligence.
So things like two-factor authentication,
Yeah.
not clicking on suspicious links and being wary of unsolicited emails.
Exactly. Those basic practices are more important than ever, and we need to minimize our reliance on email for sensitive communication. I was shocked to learn from that Qualia survey that only a third of title companies offer regular cybersecurity training to their employees.
That's a huge vulnerability.
It's a huge vulnerability.
Yeah. It's like we're so focused on the shiny new AI tools that we're forgetting the basics of online safety.
Yeah, it's a classic case of human error being the weakest link. But it's also a reminder that we can't rely solely on technology to protect us. We need to stay informed, be proactive, and adopt a security-first mindset.
Okay, so we've talked about AI's limitations in terms of decision-making, and we've touched on the potential dangers of AI in the wrong hands.
Yeah.
But there's another big challenge facing AI that's less about malicious intent and more about, well, physics.
You're talking about AI's energy consumption.
Yes.
It's a major roadblock to its widespread adoption.
Right.
These large AI models, the ones capable of all those amazing feats, require immense computing power.
Yeah.
And that translates to a hefty energy bill and a big carbon footprint.
It seems ironic that we're building these incredibly advanced systems, but they're kind of like gas-guzzling dinosaurs in terms of energy use.
It's definitely a concern, but there's a lot of exciting research going into making AI more energy efficient, both in terms of how these models are trained and the underlying architecture itself.
So there's hope for a greener AI future.
Absolutely. It's an area of active research, and I'm optimistic about the progress being made. We're seeing new approaches to training AI models that require less data and less energy.
Okay.
And we're also seeing advancements in hardware that are specifically designed for AI workloads, which can significantly reduce energy consumption.
That's good to hear, because our next topic is one that makes me wonder if we'll ever be able to fully trust AI.
Uh-oh.
The phenomenon of AI hallucinations.
Ah, yeah.
When AI decides to just make stuff up.
Make stuff up.
It might sound funny, but it can have serious consequences.
Yeah.
One of our sources mentioned an example where an AI model with complete confidence generated information that was completely inaccurate.
Right.
Imagine relying on that for, say, a medical diagnosis or a legal decision.
Yeah, that's why understanding and mitigating these hallucinations is so crucial. They highlight the fact that even the most advanced AI systems are still prone to errors, especially when they're asked to operate outside of their training data or encounter novel situations. It's like asking a master chef to build a house.
Okay.
They might have the skills and creativity, but it's not their area of expertise.
So it's like AI needs a good dose of fact-checking before we can let it loose on the world.
Exactly, and maybe a little humility, too. After all, even the best human experts get things wrong sometimes.
Well, on that note of cautious optimism.
And a healthy dose of skepticism.
Exactly. It's like AI is this incredibly powerful tool, but it also comes with a warning label.
Yeah.
Use with caution and don't believe everything you see.
Right.
Speaking of powerful tools, one of the concepts that I found really intriguing in the research is this idea of mixture of experts models.
Okay.
It sounds incredibly complex.
It does have a certain futuristic ring to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the concept is actually quite elegant.
Okay.
Instead of having one massive AI model that tries to be a jack of all trades, you create a team of specialized AI models,
Okay.
each a master of a specific domain.
So it's like assembling the ultimate AI dream team.
Precisely. Imagine you're building a house. You wouldn't hire a single general contractor to do everything.
Right.
You'd have specialized experts, architects, plumbers, electricians, carpenters,
Yeah.
each bringing their unique skills to the project.
Right.
Mixture of experts models work in a similar way.
Okay. I'm starting to see the appeal, but how does this actually work in practice?
Yeah.
How do these AI experts know when to chime in?
That's where the gating network comes into play.
Okay.
Think of it as a traffic controller for the AI world.
Okay.
It's constantly analyzing the incoming data, the task at hand,
Yeah.
and deciding which expert is best suited for the job.
So it's not just a random free-for-all. There's actual intelligence behind who gets called upon.
Exactly. The gating network is like a conductor orchestrating the flow of information and expertise to ensure the most efficient and accurate outcome. And there are different approaches to designing these gating networks. From simple rule-based systems to sophisticated machine learning algorithms, it's an area of active research with lots of potential for improving AI's performance and efficiency.
This whole mixture of experts thing, it's blowing my mind. So each AI specialist has its own strengths.
Right?
But how do they actually work together without stepping on each other's toes?
It's a delicate dance for sure, but that's the beauty of this approach. It allows for collaboration and specialization, leading to a more robust and adaptable AI system overall.
It's fascinating to see how developers are pushing the boundaries of AI, even in the face of those limitations we talked about earlier.
Yeah,
Like the whole energy consumption issue you mentioned there, are researchers working on making AI more sustainable.
absolutely. It's a critical area of focus. One promising approach is to develop more energy efficient AI architectures.
Right.
It's like designing a car that gets better gas mileage, same functionality, but less fuel consumption.
I can see the analogy, but isn't the training process itself where these massive AI models learn from vast amounts of data also a huge energy drain?
You're right. The training process is incredibly computationally intensive.
Yeah.
So researchers are also exploring ways to make it more efficient.
Okay.
One fascinating approach involves training AI models on synthetic data that's artificially generated rather than collected from the real world.
Okay.
This can reduce the amount of data needed for training, which in turn reduces the energy required.
So it's like giving AI a crash course instead of sending it to a 4-year university.
Exactly.
Less time in the classroom, but hopefully the same level of knowledge.
Exactly. And it's not just about reducing the environmental impact. Making AI more energy efficient will also make it more accessible and affordable,
Right.
opening up new possibilities for its use in various industries and applications.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about the future of AI. I know it's impossible to predict with certainty, but our sources hint at some pretty mind-blowing developments on the horizon.
It's true that predicting the future is a risky business.
Yeah.
But what's so exciting about AI is that it's evolving at such a rapid pace.
Right.
And it's not just incremental improvements, it's about fundamentally new capabilities emerging.
One example that really caught my eye was this idea of autonomous AI agents. Is it really possible that we'll soon have AI systems taking care of our everyday tasks,
Yeah.
like scheduling appointments, ordering groceries, or even managing our finances?
It might sound like science fiction,
Yeah.
but it's closer than you think. Our sources point to how AI is already being used as a co-pilot in various fields.
Okay.
From coding to medicine to creative writing, these AI systems aren't replacing humans, but they are augmenting our abilities, making us more efficient and productive.
It's like having a super-powered assistant who's always one step ahead, anticipating your needs and helping you achieve your goals.
Precisely. And as these systems become more sophisticated and adaptable, they'll inevitably take on more complex tasks, including those that involve interacting with the physical world. Think about self-driving cars, personalized healthcare assistants, or even AI-powered robots that can help us with household chores.
It makes you wonder what the job market will look like in a few years,
Yeah.
right? Will robots be taking over our jobs?
It's a valid concern and one that we need to be having serious conversations about, but I think it's important to remember that AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill.
It's up to us as a society to ensure that AI is developed and used in a way that benefits humanity, not displaces it.
Exactly. We need to be proactive in shaping the future of AI, not just passive observers. And that means thinking about the ethical implications of AI, addressing issues of bias and fairness, and ensuring that AI is used to create a more equitable and just world.
Okay, on that note of responsibility and proactive engagement with the future,
And a sense of wonder at the sheer potential of AI.
let's wrap up part 2 of our deep dive into the challenges and possibilities of AI. We've delved into that intriguing world of mixture of experts models,
Yeah.
explored the push for more sustainable AI,
Right, yeah.
and pondered the potential impact of autonomous AI agents on our everyday lives.
Yeah.
But there's one final frontier I think that we need to explore. The ultimate challenge in AI research, artificial general intelligence, or AGI.
That's right. AGI, the idea of creating AI that rivals human intelligence, has captivated our imaginations for decades.
It has.
It's the stuff of science fiction,
Yeah,
but it's also a topic of intense scientific inquiry and debate.
right? Some experts like Dario Amodei, who we've mentioned a few times already,
Yeah.
believe that we're on the cusp of achieving AGI, perhaps even within the next decade. But others are far more skeptical, arguing that we're still light years away from understanding the true nature of intelligence, let alone replicating it.
Yeah, that's the heart of the debate. There's this vast chasm between the narrow AI we have today,
Okay.
systems that excel at specific tasks but lack general intelligence,
Right.
and the kind of all-encompassing intelligence that humans possess.
The kind of intelligence that allows us to learn new things, effortlessly adapt to constantly changing environments, and even come up with creative solutions to problems we've never encountered before.
Exactly. And while AI has made remarkable progress in recent years, it still struggles with those higher level cognitive abilities.
Yeah.
It's like we've taught AI to be a grandmaster chess player,
Okay.
but we haven't taught it to understand the beauty or the history of the game or why humans are drawn to such complex challenges.
It's a great analogy. It highlights the fundamental difference between computation and comprehension.
Yeah.
AI is incredibly powerful at processing information, crunching numbers, and recognizing patterns.
Right.
But it often lacks that deeper understanding, the context and the nuance that truly shapes human thought.
And that's what makes the pursuit of AGI so challenging. We're not just trying to build faster computers or write more efficient algorithms. We're trying to crack the code of consciousness to understand what makes us uniquely human.
But let's say, just for the sake of argument, that we do achieve AGI. What then?
Yeah.
What are the ethical implications of creating machines that are potentially as intelligent or even more intelligent than their creators?
Yeah. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's one that we need to be asking ourselves now, not after the fact. If we manage to create AI that can truly think for itself, how do we ensure that its goals align with our own? How do we prevent unintended consequences?
It's like we're standing at the edge of a new frontier filled with both incredible promise and potential peril.
Yeah.
We need to proceed with caution, but also with a sense of wonder and excitement.
Exactly. AGI could revolutionize our world in countless positive ways, from solving some of humanity's most pressing problems to unlocking new realms of creativity and innovation. But it also presents us with these profound ethical challenges that we need to address thoughtfully and proactively.
So it's not just about the technology itself, it's about how we choose to use it,
Right.
how we shape its development, and how we prepare for a future where AI plays an even greater role in our lives.
It's about understanding that AI is not just a tool, it's a mirror reflecting our own values, our own aspirations, and our own anxieties.
Well, on that note of cautious optimism, and a reminder that the future is not predetermined, it's something we actively create.
And that the journey is just as important as the destination.
Let's wrap up our deep dive into the challenges and possibilities of AI. We've covered a lot of ground, from the nitty-gritty of AI's limitations to the grand philosophical questions surrounding artificial general intelligence. We've explored the cutting-edge innovations that are pushing the boundaries of what's possible, and we've discussed the ethical considerations that should guide our development and use of this powerful technology.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey. We hope you've learned something new, that you've been inspired to think critically about the future of AI, and that you'll continue to explore this fascinating and rapidly evolving field.
And remember, the conversation doesn't end here. Keep asking questions, keep learning, and keep imagining the possibilities. Until next time, when we dive into AI's impact on our everyday lives and explore its near-future potential, keep exploring the world of AI